Hi, this is Constance from Mrs. T Weddings. I am going to be continuing our Lockdown Live series, and today I am going to be joined by another Constance, Constance Doyle, who is a lifestyle photographer. And Constance and I met during lockdown, point one, the first one, and we immediately hit it off. Only really met because of our names and both working in the wedding industry. And then decided to see what we could do working together. So we've worked on a few jobs together, which have been really exciting, and she's really been quite an exciting person to work with. She's got a very distinctive style. She's got a really great ethos. She's a really hard worker as well, which is amazing. But we'll hear from her shortly. Hopefully she's going to be joining us imminently. So let's see where she is. 1 second. Let me see where she is. Constance, let's see if on. Just waiting for her to join. And thanks so much to everyone that is joining, and thanks to everyone that's given all the lovely feedback the past few days or the past week or so for the past for the recent lives that we've been doing. It's been really kind of lovely, I guess is the word to say, to have everyone feedback and say they've really appreciated them and really enjoyed it. So yeah, thank you all for your feedback and your continued support. It means a lot. Right, I think Constance is going to be joining us very shortly, and it's just connecting now. Perfect, there she is. Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
Yeah, pretty good so far, and you?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. So I was just telling everyone about you and how we met over, we're wearing the same outfit as well. This is hilarious. So two Constances, both in white Christmassy feels jumpers today. It's that kind of weather, isn't it? I feel like I have to go for a walk and have a great big hot chocolate today.
Yeah, I'll definitely be going to walk after this. The weather's gorgeous.
I know, it's stunning, isn't it? Actually, there's one thing to say about you is Constance is a huge advocate for the outdoors. She loves the outdoors. So we'll make sure we weave some of that into our conversation in a bit, because I think all the couples that like to get out there and kind of be at one with nature are your like absolute target clients, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%.
As you say, we met during the first lockdown virtually, and then as soon as we were allowed out, we met up and you did all my branding photos, which were just brilliant. We went around Oxford and we went around Blenheim and we had a great Woodstock. Say that again, sorry.
It was really amazing to do that branding shoot for you, and honestly, like, thank you for choosing me, because I know you know a lot of photographers and all that, so I feel really privileged that you chose me to do that.
It was great fun. I thought it was really good, and one thing that I want to talk about later is your kind of very distinctive style. You've definitely got a look, and it'd be great to hear a little bit more about that later on. But yes, we did the branding shoot, and then we did a styled shoot over the summer, which was really good fun, albeit very windy and cold.
Oh, God. Awful.
We suffered for the love of our craft. But the results of that were just incredible, and that's subsequently been published, and we've had lots of lovely feedback on that. So, and it was kind of the birthplace of Sweet 15. So, it was when we were working on that styled shoot that really, Boris announced 15 was going to be a thing for a while. And I kind of went, right, let's make this into something, because the team that we're working with on that shoot were just outstanding. Everyone was relatively local. And it was like, we can do this for anyone that wants to get married immediately. And we're able to kind of all just down tools and get on with it really effectively, without needing kind of, I need to have an 18-month lead time before I can actually commit to being able to do something. And so I think that's where this kind of whole idea came from. So it's so important that you're a part of this live series, because you were right there, and all the images are because of you. So thank you, first of all.
No worries, it's my pleasure.
So first of all, let's talk about you. So let's talk about where you got started. What got you into photography?
So it all started in Paris about 10 years ago. So I was born and raised in France, by the way. My dad is Irish and my mom is French. I'm Irish, as we say. And I
Does
was
that mean
scared.
you can drink a lot, but
Yeah, it
classily?
means my tolerance is pretty high. When it comes to
But
mocktails,
you
my
always
tolerance
remain
is
kind of
high.
suave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have the best of both worlds, I like to say. So yeah, so I grew up in France and I studied law. So I was set to
Wow.
become a big time international criminal lawyer. This is what I
Wow.
want to do. I'm still like extremely passionate about that topic, but anyway, that's a whole other story. Uh,
That'll be another life.
yeah, exactly. So I started shooting some photos with one of my good friends, who's a really famous designer now in London, actually, Sophie Cochevelou. She does amazing jewelry and such. And we did this shoot on the rooftops of Paris one day. And like I know it kind of created like a mini buzz, but that was like back in the day, like 10, like 10 years ago. But
Yeah.
basically, a modeling agency contacted me like after seeing those photos, and they wanted me to take photos of their models, and do new
Brilliant.
faces. And I was like, okay, you want me? Like, I mean, it's like, okay. And it was actually not too bad, like getting to shoot really cute boys, all day long and all that. So I got to learn like the craft, like with, like amazing, faces and, models, have like what they were doing. So that was pretty easy for me to learn how to really master the camera and the settings and such. And one
Yeah.
thing another, then I started getting bookings for corporate shoots and weddings and like family and children, and it was pretty organic and pretty intuitive. And it was just like, yeah, friends of friends of friends, and
Yeah.
because the word of mouth got out, and because the feedback, was pretty good also, and it kept accumulating over time. I started getting more and more demand for shoots, and this is how I really began. I still finished my law degree because I'm not a quitter, and I just fall back on that.
Very important to remember
I know,
that.
right? I find it so silly, to just quit something. It's like, okay, at least I have that. My contracts are bulletproof, of course, now, I mean,
Yeah.
I use those skills anyways, so, I
So
mean,
true.
it's, yeah, I mean, I just figured, why not, like have that and then just do photography full time and see how that goes. And so
So were
far,
you based in Paris doing your photography to start with the
yeah,
model agency and things?
yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
then how did you end up over here? I mean,
Uh,
it's not that far, but still.
yeah, I came here for love.
Ah,
Can I be more so? No, but it's yeah. Maybe I met my boyfriend, who's a great British guy. Hi, Kieran, and and
shout
he
out to
lives in
Kieran.
MK. So I just from Paris to MK, here I am. But
Yeah,
I lived for in London for 3 years because I wanted to like be an independent woman, and just have my own thing going on before like rushing into a relationship. But anyways, so I've been in MK officially for a year now, and I'm slowly building my client base. I've been doing lots of family shoots. My doorstep sessions have really, really like got me exposure, so I'm really thankful
brilliant.
for that. So yeah, that's it.
That's amazing. So what a story. So I guess, when you first started, you were doing the fashion photography and modeling photography, and now it's become more like lifestyle
Yeah.
photography, hasn't it? So tell me a little bit about that transition, because that must be quite a different headspace for you.
Completely. Like, from shooting, Paris Fashion Week backstage, like to, children's photography playing with worms, I mean, it is very different, but it's more me, I feel, it's more real, it's more authentic. And this is really what I aspire to do through my work.
Yeah.
Because basically lifestyle photography, for those who don't really know, it's somewhere in between traditional portraiture and documentary style photography. So it finds itself in the middle of that. And
Yeah.
it's just about celebrating unique family units or unique individuals, in their own way, in their own beautiful, chaotic, messy way, and not
Yeah.
just people to come as they are. I don't feel that have to be something different to be pictured by me, because I aspire for those authentic moments. And I always suggest my clients to think about things they like to do as a family and such, or as a couple, and then integrate those special unique moments that are reflective of their own lives into the shoot. So I mean, if kids want to go, like if they want to catch insects, we can do that. If they want to play in the puddles of mud, we can do that. If the little girl wants, tea time with Teddy, like we can do that. Like hot chocolate moments, cozying up by the fire, we can do that. And I really, yeah, aspire for those real moments because I think it's just more authentic and more real. And also, it brings. I have so many clients also. They book me for a shoot because they want to feel more confident or they want to
Yeah.
celebrate a milestone. And I feel really privileged to be part of that moment because then they
Yeah.
look at the photos and they're like, wow, like I had no clue I would look like that on those photos, and you made me look
Yeah.
beautiful. And for the first time, I actually feel confident. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had clients like crying over this, and I was like, stop it, like honestly,
It's like a form of therapy.
exactly, it is a form of therapy for me,
Yeah.
completely, and I really wish more people would kind of like see that in that way. But I'm really glad to, bring that to my clients because it's something
Yeah.
really unique and privileged, and I feel really useful to society now also, which is really cool.
You're giving back. Well, actually, you do give back because you also have your charitable side to every time
Yes,
you get a booking.
I
What do
know.
you do?
Such a good person. Yes, I've just started
Feeling.
this. I just started this One Tree Planted per booking initiative. I love the outdoors. I've always been
Yeah.
fascinated about nature. I go hiking all the time. I absolutely love it. It keeps me sane, honestly. And if lockdown has taught us one thing, is that we need to have nature more in our lives.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that will make us sane. Okay,
Yeah.
so I just want to give back, because I enjoy it so much. I just want to give back. So for every booking that'll be made from the 1st of December, I will be planting trees, not myself. I mean, I would love to, but I'll be
You'd
with
love to do that. That'd be your
I
heaven.
will, but I just don't have time right now because I'm
Oh,
getting busy, so
it's getting in the way of your tree planting.
I'll be supervising and obviously posting updates on my Instagram and Facebook pages.
Brilliant.
But that's something really like I had this moment that there's like, of course I should do this.
You
It makes so much
should.
sense.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
think
happy.
it's so important, and it's a really important part of you. And as soon as anyone starts to work with you or get to know you, they really get to see you. You're very authentic, and there's no BS around you. It's you are who you are, and being outside and being part of nature, and the things that you see when you're walking along the street are things that other people don't necessarily see because you're so engaged with this, the world that we're living in. And I think that that's really beautiful, that love affair that you have with nature. But at the same time, having been your co-owner, I can sometimes be like, come back from hiking, I need you to edit my
I know.
photos.
I know. I'm always
Don't
busy.
get
I
carried
always
away with having
edit
too much
photos.
fun.
I know. I feel so bad. Like every time you want me to edit photos, and there's an amount of time, I'll be away hiking, and I'm like, oh my god, literally.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm like, well, she's got like 1 day at work and 6 days hiking. That's how her work works.
Love it.
But in all sincerity, it's a really lovely, and it's a very important part of you. And as you said, there's so many photographers out there, and I think it's really important that people understand what your niche is and who you are, because partly with the lifestyle side, and more importantly for this audience, the wedding side, it's really important that you get a photographer that really represents who you two are as a couple, because they're going to be taking those photos that capture those amazing moments that are once in a lifetime. And you need somebody that's going to be reflecting the day that you want it to be, and not projecting their own version of events onto your big event as such. Oh, just lost you for a minute. Oh, there you are. Are you back?
Hi, yeah, my connection's a bit strange, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we've got you. But yeah, so it's just really important that you connect with the right kind of people. So tell me about the kind of clients that you tend to work with, that thinking about the wedding side of things, what are the types of couples that tend to book you?
So I think it's the ones who want me to convey in pictures their story, their unique story.
Yeah.
This is what I like to call it, for my type of photography, storytelling in a way, because we have different stories, and each one of them is unique and magnificent. And so I think, it's just about that, keeping it real in a way, and translating into pictures who they are really as a couple. And this is what I've been loving intimate, micro weddings so much lately, because it's more about the couple and their unique energy and story, rather than having like so much stuff going on with all the guests and such. So I'm more about,
it really refocuses and narrows it down to being about that couple getting married rather than the whole thing. Yeah. So have you had a kind of preferred style of wedding that you've enjoyed photographing? Is there kind of a style that really stands out, or a type of venue or something that really you love more than anything else?
Yeah, so I'm definitely more about relaxed and boho chic wedding, like kind of like we did. Obviously, that is definitely more my thing. In France, I'm mostly commissioned for more classic and conventional weddings, because this is how the industry, or how the people like over there. But I've been just loving more relaxed, and boho kind of weddings, and
where there's nature, I think, is
it
important.
is nature. I'm a huge fan of that. If we set up this, like wedding arch in the middle of the forest, like I mean, I myself would love to get married in definitely forest, and you know, I would have you as my planner, of course, you know, and you would make like my perfect wedding come true, you know. But definitely, yeah, I'm all about obviously like nature and just keeping it simple and
Yeah.
keeping it definitely earthy, you know, I would say.
Yeah.
But that's up to the couples and what they want exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you photographed a micro wedding in London, didn't you? I
Yeah,
don't know whether you did you do a few? Did you just do that one? I'm not too sure.
yeah. So I mean, obviously, I had a bunch of weddings that were cancelled this
Yeah,
year, thanks to Miss Rona. But it's fine because I mean, so I you know, got to focus on the things at the same time. But I did photograph a few weddings, micro weddings in London,
yeah.
and I thought it
How
was,
were they? Tell me about them.
yeah, they were actually, because I was, you know, wondering how it would look like really. But actually, I kind of like prefer them in a way because obviously more intimate, they're more relaxed. You know, the couples don't really have to stick to a certain type of schedule.
Yeah,
They can really pick up the traditions they want. You know, if a bride doesn't want to wear the big white dress, she can just wear like, you know, a cute pants and like a white top. Like we can
yeah,
completely change. Like this is like groundbreaking in a way. It's quite
it
nice.
is.
And I photographed weddings where, you know, in France there was a wedding in a castle and it was 600 guests and there were
Wow,
drones flying everywhere and it was such a big scale thing. It was like this
wow.
a movie or something, and it's just too intense, you know. It's just
Hmm.
no one has personal space. Like the couple feel obligated to talk to everyone, and then they absolutely spend no time with each other.
Yeah,
And a total shift in you know, and how the couples experience their wedding day
yeah,
now is actually can spend quality time with their guests and with each other. So not only the guest experience is unique in a way, they feel more special and they have, you know, there's more attention brought to the couple, and I think
yeah.
it's good on so many levels, really. So I mean, I vote yes anyway. On like,
I vote yes.
I agree.
I love that. Um, so thinking about the micro weddings, and I think what you just said is so important, you know, breaking away from traditions. You don't have to have all the grandeur and all of the things that people have said you have
Yeah,
to have previously. Now you've been given kind of a free pass to do whatever you want. And I think, you know, one of the things that's really, you know, I love, as you mentioned, is the change in outfits. You know, that people now are going with like mini skirts. So it's kind of like a resurgence of the 60s and 70s in a way. We did
yeah,
that on our shoot with
exactly.
Sharon Bowen
Yeah,
Dryden's range, you know,
yeah,
and Sharon's pieces are perfect for that. You know, they're so kind of that boho luxe feel. They're brilliant.
yeah,
But at the same time, you know, I was speaking to another bridal wear company the other day, and they were saying, you know, it's all about the trousers. It's all about, you know, the midi. It's no longer about the big full skirt for these micro weddings. And do you find that the style of photography, given what the bride is wearing, changes? Because I would have thought it, because it must shape the frames quite differently.
yeah. So I find like in a way what the bride wears will be more personable to her taste. So
Yeah,
she more herself, and so the photography will be more intimate and more authentic to me. So this is the reason why I love intimate weddings more, because I get the feel of who the couple is really, you
yeah.
know, deep inside. So yeah.
Yeah, rather than it just being a big dress and a
Yeah,
person that's lost in it.
it's always the same, really, isn't it? So I think it just makes it more personable and more unique.
Yeah, that's great. So tell me a little bit about being a photographer during a pandemic.
Hmm.
How did you experience the first lockdown?
So the lockdown, obviously, it was quite a slap in the face for everyone in the
Yeah.
industry, and I think we all freaked out at first. We're all glued to the news, you know, like it was kind of
The
gloomy when,
daily updates were like what we lived and
yeah,
breathed by, right?
yeah, it was awful actually when I think about it. It's just, ugh. But anyway, so I freaked out for a bit, and but then I just got it together, and I really was like, okay, how about I use this moment to rethink
Yeah.
my strategy online? What can I really change about this? Is this a brand image I really want to convey to my audience? And who is my audience actually? Should I really think about all these things, you know? Because I've
Yeah.
shifted, you know, see from fashion photography to lifestyle and lots of families and couples. So there's a lot to rethink in a way. So I was like, this is okay, perfect. Let's just sit down and look at everything. Let's network with, you know, fellow suppliers. And this is where you and I met, you know. And
Yeah.
I've met so many great suppliers, you know, from lockdown, you know, from that, you know, like pause, you know, in time where, but I think it was more, you know, it was definitely just better in a way because we all needed that break to rethink about strategies and such and network and communicate with people and also like plan shoots for when, you know, the lockdown was lifted, which is what we did. And we
Yeah.
created amazing content and networked at the same time. So
Yeah.
for me, it was a blessing in disguise. Like, I know obviously it's been horrible for a lot of people, but I'm just trying to look at the bright side,
Yeah.
it was a really good thing because
It
I
was
thought,
like we all needed to take a little bit of a deep breath, having
exactly.
worked so hard and so fast, and technology and everything is meaning that everything's so fast now. And, our responses are momentary. And I think we all needed just to take a moment. And in a way, as you say, horrendous, horrific things have happened. But for those of us that, haven't been directly impacted by becoming poorly, it's a time for us to take stock and really reevaluate where the important things in our lives are. And communication, with sincere communication, is actually something that we've kind of reprioritized.
Yeah, and also I think this really shed light to, the human beings like forced to adapt or,
Yeah,
be creative in times of shift and uncertainty. Like I really think we should value that, forced to adapt to change. And I think
yeah,
I'm blown away by everything everyone was able to do. I mean, I completely changed like my strategies and all that. And I saw some new businesses, diversify their offerings and just
yeah,
making them pandemic friendly in a way. And I think that's something that like we should really take that into more account, the fact
yeah,
that we're so creative and can adapt so easily to situations are so horrible and as a
yeah,
whole. But I think what we did great, honestly, you did great with the Sweet 15 among many other things. And I've been
yeah.
watching my fellow suppliers in the industry like just bloom into something else and something different. And I just love that about this whole thing.
Yeah, I think it's really, it's really shown our resilience as an industry, and where the creatives really can be flexible and can kind of pivot really quickly without letting things kind of fall apart, and everyone had their moment, and like we still do, like, and I think we all need to give each other and ourselves permission to have a moment where we can't quite cope. But then it's about the resilience to then pick ourselves back up and be like, right, this is how I'm going to sort it out. And I think for those couples that are planning weddings, totally the same message. You will have that moment where you go, what are we doing? We're planning a wedding during a pandemic.
Yeah,
How are we going to make this happen? But
yeah,
then it's going, well, actually, we can do it. And we
100%.
either have the micro wedding and it will
Yeah,
be just as fabulous. There's no ifs, buts, despites, what a shames. This is going to be absolutely exceptional. It's just going to be different from what tradition has told us our wedding day will look like.
yeah,
Or it's okay, we can't do it right now, but we'll get on with it later on, and we'll postpone. Let's not cancel our lives. Love continues. Love wins. We've had so many
yeah.
wonderful phrases, and it's so true that everyone, whatever your situation, you've had to pivot, you'd have to change. Very few people have kind of seamlessly executed this without having to make a
Yeah.
change in their lives.
And there's I've seen many couples actually book a photo shoot for their wedding day that was usually like
Yeah,
actually planned, and as a way to mark the special day still, or they have a micro wedding
yeah,
and also celebrated a year after.
yeah,
And like a good selling point with like micro weddings also is they can allocate the budgets in
yeah,
more things, or things that are more important to them because there's less guests,
yeah,
then the budget can go more for for other suppliers. And
exactly.
so I think it's a win-win really on many levels.
Yeah, I mean, the micro wedding in my eyes is kind of like the best dinner party you've ever had in your life. So,
Exactly.
why, just because there's less guests, it doesn't mean it should be any less special. And it shouldn't be like, oh, I won't bother. It'll be like, well, I am going to bother because I'm only going to have one wedding day. And now
Exactly.
that I don't have to pay for, 150 people to eat, I'm just paying
Yeah.
for 15 people to eat. I'm going to give them the most wonderful meal. I'm going to make sure that we capture every moment with the best photographer. I'm going to make sure that the flowers are just stunning. My dress is beautiful. Make it
Yeah.
so special so that you really do remember that it was such a special day. So I
Yeah.
think
And
it's kind of given
people
people an
relax.
opportunity to really execute a sensational wedding in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Agree.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So tell me a little bit about what you're working on at the moment, because I think you have some very exciting projects in the pipeline.
Yeah. So I've been brainstorming so much. So I mean, lockdown 2 is happening now, and I literally have like a notebook on marketing ideas and a notebook on shoot ideas, and I
Yeah.
keep scribbling on both notebooks all the time. I actually cannot. I got so many ideas now because I'm like, okay, I know the drill. We had a first lockdown. I know how this works. We have a downtime. Instead of freaking out, I'm just gonna do my thing, and brainstorming, be creative. So I'm super excited to say that I will be hosting my first Christmas shoots in
Yay.
partnership with other suppliers that actually worked on the style shoots. And
Yeah.
my signature thing will be, because I'm a hippie at heart, Volkswagen. So a festive Volkswagen van provided by Silk and Satin, and the setup is gorgeous. We've had other suppliers involved who are providing the props and wreath and all that, and it's gonna be amazing. And I already have requests about it already, because I kind of like did a few spoilers here and there, but I'm gonna advertise it from today or tomorrow, I'm guessing, and it's gonna be amazing. Like the whole setup is such a dream, and we had our first sample shoots the other day, and they look amazing. Like, it's a whole experience. It's not just a photo shoot, you know. It's Christmas music is playing, you know, sweet are being given. The kids love it, you know, because officially I'm showing these photos to Santa Claus, you know. So they're putting on their best behavior, and I love it so much. And yeah, it looks.
What about if people don't have kids? Are they still allowed to come and have a Christmas shoot?
Yeah, they can actually. That was like one of the things about lockdown too, because it was, you know, photography was very vague, because it was not really listed as part of the businesses who could remain open or had to close. But I've actually, you know, shed some light on the problem. Outdoor shoots can still be carried out. So that's the thing, you know, as long as, you know, it's one household, and obviously like not several like households mixed up. So it's all good on my part. I'm really happy. I've written to the local MP anyways on Saturday evening. My weekends are so fun now, by the way. I'm still waiting his response, just so you know. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely confirmation, but I've read several other MPs who have indeed told photographers that they can indeed shoot outdoors, so it is absolutely fine. 2 meters social distancing is still followed, you know, I'm wearing my mask and such, so it's absolutely fine to do it. It's completely safe, and I think families and couples and children deserve to have a good Christmas after the year we've had. It's good memories that we're gonna create, and it's gonna be amazing Christmas cards, and you know, like they're gonna send that to their grandmothers and such, and they're gonna
so do they get the digital images as well?
They get the digital images, and I create myself a set of 10 Christmas cards also they can get from the shoot, and get treats, and it's the whole experience. It's just a little winter wonderland, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess, you know, that's one of the things, that people would go off to Winter Wonderland in the middle of town and, you know, do things like that. But this year it's less accessible. I doubt it's even happening. I don't know whether it is, but I doubt it is. And so to give people that kind of immersion into Christmas, or, you know, the families that would be going to Lapland to go and see Santa and things.
Exactly. And it's safe also. It is safe. And so I feel like, you know, everyone, we really all deserve to have a good end of the year. And this is why families and couples and children.
Yeah. So whereabouts are you doing this?
So we're still confirming locations. We did a first shoot in a private location. Because it was like hush hush, you know, that time. But we're currently scouting for locations. We have several ones in mind.
But it'll be around Milton Keynes, is that right?
Milton Keynes, so like probably like a shabby chic looking barn or something, to like get more of a mood. So yeah, we'll keep you posted on that. So
perfect. But it's around kind of Milton Keynes area, not far from the M1 for anyone who wants to come up from London.
It's very central. I mean, I'm looking at Stony Stratford, Wolverton area for now, so I can say more for now.
Perfect, good, brilliant. And so I guess, you know, that's what you're doing now. Let's talk a little bit more about you and your style. So I said you've got a very distinctive style, but you know, I'm not a photographer, but I know when I look at one of your pictures, I'm like, oh, that's Constance. But how do I know it's you? What's your style? What is it that makes your pictures so distinctive?
So I think the keyword here is natural. Everyone wants natural photos, and this is what book me. Non-intrusive also. So basically, just very realistic looking and timeless, and emotive also. So this is the thing, is when I shoot couples or families, I set the scene to allow them to create movements and interactions. This is why we center shoots around, you know, nature settings or activities they can do. That way their personality and unique family unit can actually shine through the photos. So I think it will be most, because, you know, obviously I don't really do studio work, because studio work usually involves just like
static. Well, that was what I was going to say, is movement, I think, is a really important part of your work.
And interactions, rather than, you know, posing and everyone kind of like looking at the camera, which is nice too. Like, you know, traditional portraiture is nice too. That's good for, you know, as I call it, you know, pictures to put on the fridge, you know, but I would say my style is more, you know, focus on the unique family units and interactions and movements.
Yeah, and really capturing those special moments. And I think, the shoot that we did together with the style shoot was with a real couple. And, immediately everyone's sort of like looking at pictures like, oh my goodness, that's so adorable. Like I got goosebumps. Like I can see the love in the photos. And even though it's just, even though it's a styled shoot, you can still see Laura and Harry are so kind of together. And that's the kind of passion that you've put into that moment to capture it and make sure that they feel relaxed and confident and comfortable in front of the camera, when there's a whole army of us behind being like, kiss her.
I know, it's 20 people on set looking.
Yeah, nothing odd going on here, just checking out your kiss.
Keep making out.
But in a way, I mean, weddings are a little bit like that. All the guests are looking on as the couple are posing for these kind of romantic moments, which are a little bit odd. So it's, it's so lovely to see you in action, putting people at ease and feeling kind of, I don't know what the word is, but, just feeling comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah, that's something definitely is a skill, I guess, that any photographer should have, is to make people comfortable. And because people are so apprehensive about shoots, like not everyone book shoots all the time. It's something quite unique in a way. So it's just that ability, I guess, to be the friends immediately.
I think this, I'm going to quote you on the funniest noise you make. All shit. You did this at mine. You did this the whole time. You're like, hee hee hee, ha ha ha. And you do that the whole way through.
Yeah, because smiles and laughs look great, and if I ridicule myself, then they're not in the hot seat anymore. That's the thing, So I don't mind making fool of myself, I don't care about losing but the dignity, as long as I get the shots,
You'll do anything for the shot.
Exactly, I really don't care. Oh my god, you should see me with children. It's a joke. I mean, a joke, but who cares? I got the photos. That's all that matters.
And the parents got the smile, not the cry.
Yeah, the parents are like, oh, go back to France. It's like, what are you?
Crazy French woman.
I know.
But no, that noise, ha ha ha, hee hee hee, I'll never forget it. That will always be associated to you in my head.
I love it.
So tell me, so you're about to do the Christmas shoot, then in the new year, hopefully back to doing some micro weddings and get back into that world of things and doing some more doorstep. Are you still doing doorstep?
Doorstep, 100% doorstep back, and also I'm going to include a wreath in the doorsteps. Created by Harding and Bloomed. So Amy, it's like her brand too, and so doorstep, and once the lockdown is lifted, back to business as much as we can. I want to also, maybe do something special for Valentine's Day, Easter, and celebrate milestones, first birthday. So I have a few projects. I'm going to work with loads of suppliers, I think, going forward, because I think it just teaming up makes us stronger in a way. And I think there's so much talent going around anyway. Might as well do it and build exposure from that.
Yeah, exciting. Brilliant. And so tell me your kind of top tips to anyone that is planning their wedding at the moment. What would be your advice to them while they're trying to navigate this crazy, crazy time?
Well, I always say to obviously book you as a wedding planner.
Of course, that's an obvious one.
No, I think the key thing honestly, because a good wedding planner knows the good suppliers, and also can obviously obtain really good rates, from them and such, and knows every kind of style. Because I when I told you I wanted a styled shoot, in a way, so it's as if I was like a bride asking you, telling you I wanted a relaxed boho, and you completely delivered, and you delivered within a week, and you had like ponies involved in this and that, and I think that ability to make things happen is why I admire you so much in a way, and you could make any bridezilla become like the blushing bride in a way. You know what I mean? So it's
Thank you.
In good hands, So I would definitely advise a couple. So just make sure you're in good hands in terms of suppliers, and freak out. Your micro wedding is gonna be amazing. And if you choose to not, have a wedding this year, it's fine. You can do it like next year, but just remember this day is about you and your love and your story, and it's gonna be amazing anyways, really.
Yeah, and I think just keep communicating with your suppliers. Like, just keep telling them what you're thinking and what you're planning, because everything's changing for everyone, right?
Yeah, because we've all thought about ideas, or we have all tailored our offerings to what's going on, the current climate. So we have many ideas that we have to share. So it's definitely a good call to communicate with them and ask them what their recommendations are.
Yeah, brilliant. So, for anyone that wants to get in touch with you, tell them your contact details.
Yeah, so you can follow my Instagram at
Yeah.
Constance Doyle. I also have a Facebook page, Constance Doyle Portrait, Family and Lifestyle Photography, which it just hit 4,000 followers yesterday, I
Well
think. So, yeah,
done.
actually close to 10K on Instagram, which is amazing. So
You've
I
done
really
so, and that's all been organic, hasn't it?
yeah, exactly. Like it's actually crazy to think that 10K people, like that's, bigger than a stadium or something, or bigger than towns or, I just find it's crazy, right? So,
Bigger than
like,
the village that you were born in.
yeah, like a whole village being like, yeah, Constance. No, it's just like weird because I have imposter syndrome sometimes, because I get
Yeah.
more and more brands wanting to work with me and such. I'm like, oh, like, but it feels good, because I've been working so hard during lockdown, the first one, and finally, I get, I can see the effects of that hard work paying off,
Yeah.
like seeing what
Yeah.
you do and
It's
such. So I
brilliant.
think it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I think, everyone loves your photography, and every time I post one of your pictures, the amount of love you get is just huge from my audience. So I know that we're definitely speaking to the same audience in
Yeah.
that sense. And, you've done outstandingly well in being able to adapt what you do to whichever market you're working, whether it be the Parisian, the London, Milton Keynes, or pandemic. You do it.
Chameleon, yeah.
You are a comedian. That's probably part of your Irish Parisian heritage, right? Um, so yeah, I think everyone, I'd highly recommend Constance as a photographer. And you're part of Sweet 15, and you've put some amazing deals together for us, so that if anybody wants to go ahead and have the Sweet 15 deal, we can bring Constance in as your photographer. She is really great working with the other suppliers as well, which is a really nice thing that I think is really important, is that the other suppliers kind of know you, trust you,
Yeah,
like you, so that
yeah.
it really is a team working
Oh,
together.
yeah.
That's one of the most important things for me with all the suppliers I work with. They've got to be people I trust and like and want to work with,
Yeah,
because that's how we're going to execute the best wedding possible for our clients.
yeah.
So I'd highly, highly recommend you to any of our couples out there. And I think, thank you so much for your energy and passion that you've put into the wedding industry, because it has been tough. We're not denying that, but you've remained resilient and positive, and you've sent out some fantastic messaging throughout this whole time. And on behalf of couples and the industry, thank
Uh,
you for that, because I think it means a lot.
Thank you, Constance. Thank you. So sweet of
No,
you.
no problem. Well, look, thank you so much. I'm going to let you go and get some lunch now. And you've been an absolute superstar. So thank you.
Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
great
I'll
day.
see you soon. Let's grab a coffee when all this is over.
Yes, hot chocolate in a VW. Speak soon. Take care,
Okay.
everyone. Bye bye.